Well, hello, I'm Samantha Shepard from Shepard Elder Law and Assured Trust Company, and I wanted to say thank you very much for giving us your time today, Patricia. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So super interested to share with people what I've learned about you and what I've learned about Margaret's Place, which granted, we just had one great, easy, quick connection of a conversation, and I fell for you. I thought, oh, this is a woman with a lot of get up and go. So tell me how Margaret's Place started.
Well, interesting enough, Margaret was my grandmother. And when I was a little girl, I'm a twin. And I was what they call the ugly duckling.
Oh,
I was
no.
very hairy and just like this little monster. And my parents were like, when they brought us both into the room for the presentation of these two babies, they kind of was like, that's not ours, but this little beautiful one over here is. But my grandmother was in the room and she really took offense to that. And I just was kind of her baby from there on out. And when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I remember in a conversation with her, telling her, you know, when you get to be an old lady, grandmother, I'm going to take care of you. Grandma Brown is what we would call her. And she said, no, you won't. You have your own life, your own family, and you won't even think about me. But in 97, probably from about 94 to 97, I noticed my grandmother started doing some very strange things. She'd put the whole chicken in the oven with no seasoning. And then that turned into—
Wait, now I do that. Is that a sign of something bad?
Well, that turned into putting the whole chicken in the oven with the package still on it. She was thinking people were breaking in her house, and just kind of over time, I realized, hey, it's time to make good on that promise and move my grandmother in with me. So that's what I did in 2008. And I did a lot of research because I had no clue how to help her. My background is in real estate and children. I've been self-employed since I was 19. So taking in this little old lady to love on was exciting at first. But then once we started seeing all the challenges that come with dementia and Alzheimer's,
so she had a diagnosis already at that time?
Interesting enough, she did not. I think it was such a new disease. We would take her to the hospital and they would do to the neurologist, and they would do the brain scans, and they found nothing. But I did a lot of research on how to help her because there was a lot of sundowning going on. I didn't know what sundowning was. But the research that I did, you can tell very specifically what stage she was in. And later on, she was diagnosed, but that was probably about 8 years into the disease when she was in the final stages. But so 2009, we searched for an adult daycare in Jackson County. My grandmother and I both went to and did tours of almost all of the facilities. And her exact words was, I would rather sit at home and rot than go to any of those facilities. They smelled bad. The food was disgusting. People just didn't look engaged. They were sitting in the corner, just lifeless. So the last 4 years of her life, she spent literally curling up into the fetal position. Towards the end, we would have had to break her arms and legs to kind of straighten her out, food in a blender. All that research showed an adult daycare would have exercised her brain. It would have got her back living life and excited. So I thought, hey, this might have been something that could have prevented that. So we opened Margaret's Place in her honor, a facility that is clean and smells good and is sanitized, where the food is amazing and the activities are fun and engaging, so that people like her wouldn't have to suffer in their final days.
I think that's fantastic. I'm so pleased that you did this. I'm so sorry about your story. It's unfortunately not a story that is new to me to hear. But no more. I don't know. I'm almost without words. I love the idea that you took your experience and built from it and created something that will help others. So Margaret's Place now is located in Kansas City, Missouri.
Correct.
And you can take anyone.
Yeah, so we maybe not anyone. Well, we can take anyone, but about 98% of our participants, we bill Medicaid, so it's free for them to come. We do have a small portion of self-pay participants, but we welcome more. But just the area we're in, and with the grassroots marketing, I think attacking that Medicaid participant was kind of who I was going after. But as long as you're 18 or older and you have a need to be in our facility or want to get out and spend some time with, your peers and make new friends. And, we have a wellness program where you can set 3, 6, and 9-month goals. We've had some really cool success stories. Bobby, who he does never mind if I share his story. He's one of our hugest success stories. He had a brain injury. Some friends of his broke into his house and robbed him, and they left him, they hit him over the head with an object. They never figured out what the object was, but it left him in a pool full of blood and the illusion of he was dead. But where it hit him, it paralyzed him on the right side. He lost his ability to speak. He went through 2 years of physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy inside of a facility. And then he reached a plateau, which basically means insurance isn't going to pay anymore because they feel like he won't progress. He spent a couple years after that at home, severely depressed. And I met his daughter at a basketball game, and we were just talking about him. And I was just starting Margaret's Place and excited about it. So we were talking about that, and we got her dad signed up on self-pay at first. And he created a goal, of course, to walk and talk again. And tell a story. He never got a story out. It took us about a year because, like I said, he's nonverbal. Well, he was nonverbal. Now he's got a vocabulary of about 60 or 70 words, just with us loving on him and making him talk. But so we got his story out, which is something his family never had. And then we sent him through our wellness program. So he set his 3, 6, and 9-month goals. And Bobby doesn't bring his wheelchair to the center anymore. He's walking with a cane, and his vocabulary is just growing by the day. So our wellness program really works, and it's just such an amazing program. And we partner with a company called Peace for Your Pieces, so that they can really give them focus, and then our staff can work on those day-to-day activities and things like that.
So you've given me loads of questions, though. Loads of questions. So how, I guess we don't want to talk particular. So how, hypothetically, what are the ages of, you said over the age of 18 you'll take, up to what age?
So my youngest, up to 150, however old they get. My youngest that I've ever had has been 19. And then my oldest has been 100. She started at 99 in our facility, and she passed last year, but she passed right at her 100th birthday party. So that was really cool.
That's good.
She lived a long time. But
yes.
It's a very interesting dynamic because the older people kind of school the younger people, and then the younger people kind of take care of the older people. So it's a really cool family-like atmosphere that happens with that
What
age.
is your caregiver ratio?
You mean caregiver to participant?
Yes.
It's about half and half. Our disabled participants, more of them have caregivers. What we see in the elderly community is a lot of them are just on their own. Their family, a lot of times mom and dad has been strong and they've been raising us and taking care of us our whole life. And when we get older, our family just feels like they're still strong and able to do, and they're just kind of in denial. Especially when dementia and Alzheimer's sets in, because it's such a new disease that no one really knows how to handle it.
So what time do you open?
We open at 7 a.m.
And close?
We close at 6 p.m.
So can we have a morning? Can we do a la carte, or do you want a certain fixed schedule?
Oh no, so our only I guess our only thing there would be if you use our transportation, because we do provide transportation to and from the facility daily.
Okay, stop. You provide transportation?
We do provide, I thought of everything I would have needed for my grandmother. So we're a facility for our participants, but we're also there for our community and for our families. So everything I would have needed, while you're at work, if you could pick a loved one up, that is just one less thing that our caregiver has to worry about. So we really kind of thought about the participant, their caregiver and family, and our community while we were building Margaret's Place and its intellectual property.
How many years are you into the project now?
We celebrated our 5th year anniversary on July 15th of last year. So we made it to the 5-year milestone.
That's very encouraging. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, so where can I go to find out more information?
You can visit us online at www.margaretsplacekc.com. You can always call us at 816-249-2300 and schedule a free day. So we do free tours for our facility, so you can kind of try us before you buy us. And you just spend the whole day with us. You eat breakfast at 9 with us, have lunch at noon, and just have a blast with us. And if you love us, then we'll get you signed up on that day. And it takes about 2 to 6 weeks, depending on if you're self-pay or Medicaid, to get you signed up for the facility. And then to join our family. We just have a blast.
What's the maximum number of people that you can service at one time?
So 38 is our max for our facility. Of course, we're 50% just for COVID right now until everything gets back to normal. But that's our capacity, which takes about 62 to be on the roster because everybody's not a full-time participant.
Okay, understood. You sound very inviting and I want to come along. However, I'm sure everyone is not for you. There must be some, unfortunately, criteria that you say this won't work here.
Okay, so for this specific facility, we hope to open other facilities that will cater to the different types of people and their needs. But for this specific facility, our qualifications are 1, that you can feed yourself, 2, that you can go to the restroom on your own. And then 3, you don't have any of the communicable diseases like your HIV, your hepatitis, just the things that can be terminal and are highly contagious because we don't want to put any of the other participants at risk at this specific facility. So those are our 3 things that would, for lack of a better word, disqualify you for our 72nd and Truth location.
Got it. Where are you in terms of getting COVID vaccines?
We are on the list and anxiously awaiting the email. We did receive our second email stating that they will be matching us with the pharmacist, and then they will be sending someone out to do the vaccines at our facility. So we're just waiting on that email to say, here's your pharmacist, this is the date, let's make it happen.
Well, I can't thank you enough for giving us a bit of your day and giving me some information to share with our clients and our friends in the community who need to know about Margaret's Place. So Margaret's Place is an opportunity for the community to be served, and you're providing a safe place that gives the caregivers a needed break at a very reasonable price, if not free, because Medicaid's taking over the bill. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.